on, guys? Kind of a different video for you today. We're going to be going through the community notes and the update that's coming for season 2 together, because I'm hearing that supposedly it's going to save everything, and I wanted to check it out together and check it out for the first time together. So let's read through it and see if we can detect any BS. Alright, ahead of Season 2 updates on Ricochet Anti-Cheat and Warzone Multiplayer and Zombies. Ahead of Season 2 launch, Black Ops 6 and Call of Duty Warzone on January 28th. We're here to address comprehensive feedback we've been hearing from our community in recent weeks and tell you what we're doing right now to improve the game. What? Cheating and bans. Hopefully that's actually true. Ability to disable crossplay on consoles and rank play. That's actually going to change a lot for console players when for all the cheating right now. Server issues, my god. If they fix the servers, then that'd be insane. Quality of life updates and requested bug fixes. Let's get right into it. Interesting. All right. So broad overview, it looks pretty good to me. Update from the Ricochet anti-cheat team. Instances of cheating in Call of Duty, particularly in rank play across both multiplayer and Warzone, are frustrating and severely impacting the experience of our community. We're here to tell you what's being done about it today and plan to support through 2025. Live now are new layers of security protection against cheaters in Call of Duty, as well as updates to protect the competitive integrity of the game. It's already live. I'm pretty sure I was playing last night and I got hacked on, so I don't know about that. Updated detection models of behavioral systems such as aimbotting or other data points, including account trust and hardware identifiers to target serial. All right, so that's interesting. So that means they're using like AI to like pinpoint higher percentages of headshots and stuff like that. That can get iffy at times, but I appreciate it. Over 136,000 ranked play accounts banned since the mode launched. All right, congrats. I don't know why they need to give us stats about how many people are actually cheating. It just makes them look bad. Enhancing cross-examination tools focused on reducing the time it takes to action accounts. See, my problem with that is if they do that, more people are going to get banned. You would think that's a good thing, but it's also going to mean there's going to be a lot of false bans. So I'm iffy on that. New detection and warning systems for spam reporting by accounts. Okay, that makes sense, because I think there was some cheaters out there that had crazy hacks that what they would do is if a player made them mad, they would spam report the player that was legit, and then that player would get banned. It was very weird. I just don't know how people have that much time on their hands, but I digress. New detection and warning systems for repeat playing with cheaters' behavior. When a cheater is banned, our system will detect other accounts it had regularly partied up with and raise flags of investigation, combat boosting, or other cheater behavior. Now that's interesting. That should have been happening since the beginning. I don't know why that wasn't happening since the beginning. Did it not trigger red flags when you played with cheaters? That just doesn't make sense to me. But I also worry about that in the sense that I hope it's not just a one playthrough. Because I have gotten into games like random squads or stuff like that where you party up with the cheater, but it's not like it's your friend or anything. But I'm assuming there's some guidelines to that. We have seen community questions about detection methods like IP-based banning. We do not utilize IP-based bans for anti-cheat because they tend to take action against entire groups within a range that aren't problematic. That makes sense. For example, a college campus or internet cafe would be swept up on an IP-based ban wave when only a single machine was targeted. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and I kind of appreciate that. I do understand why people are calling for IP-based bans, but I also understand why they're not doing it, and that's a very good example why. In December, we announced that we're implementing major upgrades that got the current online and active kernel level driver for Season 2, as well as upgrades to server-side systems in early 2025. Here's more of what to expect of these updates, and they're set to be added. Improvements to driver safety, security, reinforced encryption process, new tampering detection system. Again, I don't know why this wasn't something that came in when it was implemented. Like, why are we going to additional steps of encryption, and it doesn't make sense now. Why are we doing it now? Season 3 and beyond, a multiple of new tech, including brand new system to authenticate legit players and target cheaters. As we get closer to Season 3, we'll dive a little deeper into these systems. However, it's important we don't provide too many details that could give cheat developers a peek behind the curtain. I'm sorry, they're well behind the curtain right now. I don't know what you think is happening, but the cheaters are in. You just need to figure it out. We're not slowing down. This is the classic mumbo jumbo marketing. Server stability, packet loss, and lobby crashing. This is a big one because I had this last night. I do appreciate that you can rejoin games, but at the same time, I don't understand how the game is crashing as much as it has been lately. I have an older system, but it still shouldn't even be a thing. We've seen community reports of increased rubber banding, packet loss notifications, and server disconnects in recent weeks, especially in ranked play, and in certain regions where some players may not have access to as many servers as others. We have been monitoring match activity closely, including identified suspicious accounts that appear in multiple crash lobbies. The team at Demonware has narrowed down some specific causes and these issues that can affect all players, and new improvements have been made to Call of Duty servers infrastructure this week to reduce targeted cases of malicious activities on our infrastructure and players. While this is an industry-wide issue, we remain committed to combating individual. Whatever. So basically, they're saying they understand that there's rubber banding issues right now, but they didn't really explain how they're going to fix it. With these new improvements now in place for both Black Ops 6 and Warzone, we've already seen improvements in stability in the back end. While this isn't one-size-fits-all solution for every potential issue, the online experience, we're confident in the results, and we've already seen in practice. Again, obviously not because I crashed last night. I don't know if this has already been implemented or they're just talking about when this comes out in Season 2. In addition to these improvements, the team has also solved some server issues in regions that had recently experienced instability and continue to act to resolve these pop-ups. Okay, I appreciate that. If they're going to add servers in regions that have less, that's great. An update from the disruptive behavior team on voice moderation. I've never had to deal with that. I know a lot of people are complaining about them being banned for basically no reason, and just skip over this part. But if you do want to read it, just pause the video here and you can. All right, incoming Black Ops 6 updates. In addition to all the new maps and modes and rewards coming on day 1 of Season 2, Treyarch has prioritized several gameplay updates, quality of life improvements, playlist changes, and notable bug fixes scheduled for Season 2 and launch based on player feedback, as well as key updates to ranked play. I don't know if I'm going to dive too far deep into the multiplayer stuff just because it's not really my forte, but there's a lot of solid fixes in here when I'm looking through it. But again, we all know what they need to be doing, so I don't know if they know that, but anyways. Ranked play, we've heard the feedback from players about wanting the choice to toggle crossplay and ranked play since launched earlier this season, and its spirit of improving the gameplay experience. We're returning to the way we've traditionally handled crossplay in Season 2. We are enabling the ability to disable crossplay for console players who want to complete only against the console players. Again, I think this is really good. Like, if console players want to play against console players, do it. And there's some other improvements for vote to forfeit and other stuff that's coming in. So there's no SR penalties. With zombies, actually not a lot of stuff for zombies, which is kind of weird. You can pause the video here and take a look at zombies if you want. All right, incoming Warzone updates. Let's talk about Season 2 and Call of Duty Warzone. We've made the decision to prioritize focus on gameplay tuning, adding more quality of life, and addressing ongoing bugs. This means that in order to deliver meaningful improvements to our players, new content originally planned for Season 2 has been shifted to create bandwidth to address foundational issues. These improvements won't come all at once. Rather, they'll be staggered across the season with quite a few quality of life changes coming mid-season. Our priority is having the most solid foundation a Battle Royale can offer, and are excited for players to see it all live. I appreciate this. You want to know why? Because this means they're not prioritizing the battle pass or a bunch of new skins and all that nonsense. All the players want is to have a good foundation. That's it. That's all we want. You give us a good foundation of a game and like 1 or 2 new skins once every couple weeks. I don't even care about buying skins, but I know some people do. Like if you just keep that low while you improve the game, we're fine with it. But it's when the game crashes and the store isn't crashing, right? The foundation of the store is great. The game isn't. So I don't know. I like this. I appreciate that they're pushing stuff. And I also do understand like the development process and stuff. So I do understand that they're pushing resources into this. That's great. They're $1 billion company, though. They should have the resources to do this. All right, key gameplay and quality of life adjustments. Warzone is a constantly evolving game, bringing new experiences through yearly, and yeah, we get it. Weapons, reload speeds are faster for all weapons, anywhere from 5% to 20%, depending on the weapon class. Okay, let's reduce penalty when sprint to fire jumping from 35% to 10%, increase jumping ADS speeds by 25%. The intent to find the middle ground of being able to pull off a jump shot without being meta movement strategy. Wow, okay. These two seem crazy on paper, but I'm very curious to see what happens with that in game. Adjusted bullet penetration across most materials resulting in more consistent experience for thicker walls in particular. I appreciate because there are instances where I'm like, oh, I'm behind a big steel wall. This should be more than enough to protect me, and it usually doesn't, so I appreciate that. And all I want is consistency, right? Like if all walls can be shot through, that's fine. I'm good with that. Don't give me one that can be shot through and another that can't be shot through, and the one that can't be shot through is way thinner or looks to be thinner. Like, it doesn't make sense. Weapon swaps, speed increase by 10%, effectively replicating the effect of quick grip gloves perk from Modern Warfare. Wow, okay, that's a huge one. That's awesome. Remove burst and semi-auto rifles and low rarity pistols from ground loot, allowing for more confidence in knowing how your weapon will fire when you pick it up. That seems random. I'm not sure why they feel the need to do that, but it's fine. They need to. All right, movement. Increase both jump speed and successive jump height with one unmodified successive jump. Basically, if you're spamming jump. Increase the speed of parachute cut animation, making cutting parachute and readying your weapon significantly faster. Wow, okay, well. They don't really give us numbers here, so I feel like this could just be them talking. Increase player velocity when landing from a cut parachute land for smoother transition into full sprint. Okay, again, they're not really giving us numbers or kind of anything to really go off of, so this feels like it could just be words on a website, you know what I mean? Or these three could make the game incredibly faster, which could be cool too. Audio, reducing reverb effects to improve directionality of movement audio produced by other players. Footsteps, ascenders, parachute. I do think that's going to be nice because the reverb effect is very annoying at times, so we'll see how that makes it. Perks. Combat Scout pings replaced with an outline that is not visible through walls. Okay, that's nice. That makes Combat Scout way less overpowered. I like that. Added new default perks. Dexterity has been increased in effectiveness and made default for all Warzone players. This is awesome. That means you can change out your first perk for something else. So it doesn't need to be dexterity. Okay, that's really cool. As mentioned above, we're replicating the effect of quick grip gloves and fast reload via weapon adjustments. I mean, amazing. Anything that makes reloading a gun faster in this game, I'm all for, because honestly, it can get miserable. Mountaineer returns as a perk 1 slot, replacing dexterity. We've increased the fall damage reductions substantially from that that is currently in line with dexterity, though not quite the powerhouse it was during Modern Warfare 3. Okay, so Mountaineer's back. Not going to be as crazy as it was in MW3, but that's all right. Veteran now significantly reduces the damage ticks of gas grenades. Ooh, okay, that could be an interesting one to start using, because man, there's nothing more frustrating than gas grenades right now. Equipment and kill streaks. Munition satchel now only provides 1 additional item 2 to address overstocking and spamming equipment. Maximum deployed tacticals and lethals reduced to 2 each, down from 3 to make more purposeful trap plays. Gas grenades radius, duration, and movement penalties reduced to bring in line with the vision of a zoning tactical and less of a lethal crutch. This is a big one to me because the gas grenades were so annoying, or the gas bouncing Betty was so annoying. Spygammer's outline effect no longer renders through walls. This is a good one because we both know that people were spamming the spy camera they would spam it like for one frame and get a snapshot of everyone, and then they could see through walls. Advanced UAVs will now show elevation arrows. That's amazing. I don't know why that didn't do it from the beginning, but I digress. Miscellaneous. Body shield functionality limited. No longer automatically releases players in free fall. No longer provides an outline of the victim's teammates through walls. That makes sense. I approve of that. Removes manual release of players, keeping them alive. Must end with an execution. That, I don't love that, because that was kind of a cool thing to have. Flares that fire out of the buy station when a player is bought back can now be pinged to increase visibility on redeployments. I wonder how that's going to play out, but we'll see. Match stat tracker font adjusted for better readability at lower resolutions. All right, now we're into bug fixes. Regarding the live issues, we know that how frustrating it is to see them linger or so unaddressed in patch notes. Although our team works hard to keep COD updates in Trello current with the most visible issues, these channels do not reflect the full depth of work being done behind the scenes. Prioritizing of fixes is fluid and shifts and new issues appear as a ground is paved on the existing one. As always, player feedback is an important pillar in the process, and so we encourage you to continue sharing your experience with us. Now, this is exactly what I talked about in my other video. You can go check that out. I don't understand why they don't have just a dedicated team that keeps this updated. Keep it updated, show people that you're working on stuff, and then people won't be mad. Or maybe I'm just crazy. Like in my world, if you're showing that you're working on something and you're keeping people updated, you keep people happy. Even if the product isn't up to par with what it should be. That just seems like common sense to me, but anyways. Here are some of the fixes players can expect to see when Season 2 launches. Map and gameplay issues. Address visibility in dark areas of characters on Rebirth Island. That's a great one. I have a video coming out about that. Address players being forced to stand up while reviving down squad members. That's a good one. Addressed exploits allowing players to access unintended areas of the map. That's fine. Address parachute deploying when jumping off ladders. That's really annoying, and thank God they have changed that. Weapons and equipment. Address weapons becoming inaccessible near interactable areas. Address weapons falling through buy station models. Address weapons tooltips appearing as common when dropped to the ground. These two are huge. I've also made videos about these. I don't understand how this is a thing and why it's only coming in Season 2. Perks and contra. Address ghosts persisting through the pre-match lobby into the match. Ooh, that's a weird one. Address cold-blooded not properly countering tracker. Address quick fix health regen not properly activating while plating. Address survivor preventing players from reviving down squad members. Address most wanted contracts not overriding respawn timers as intended. Okay. Address operator selection appearance issues in main menu. This is a huge one. It changes all the time. I don't know why they do that. You buy a skin and your skin will change all the time. It makes no sense. All right, there's not much of an update on rank play. In addition to the above notes and the incoming crossplay options for console players, rank play in Season 2 will see a refinement of the amount of SR required and adjustments to deployment fees. These updates aim to soften the on-ramp into accessing rank play and make the top end truly competitive. As a parting thought, we want to take a moment to reflect on the significance of Black Ops 6 in integration, the largest in Call of Duty. Oh my God. Stop with the largest. It's always largest. All right, overall, I think on paper this seems like a pretty big update. I'm glad they're pushing back all the kind of cosmetic stuff that they were going to release in Season 2. I'd much rather them focus on what's actually broken in the game. And a lot of their fixes seem to be promising from all the quickness upgrades and all that stuff. So I am looking forward to Season 2. Can I say that it's going to fix the game or save the game? I'm not sure, but it will certainly make it a little bit more fun for me to play. So I'm curious to hear your guys' comments below. And if you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.